Stop scrolling, because what I'm about to tell you will permanently change how you read women's interest. You might think you're missing opportunities because women aren't showing signs, but that's not true. They are showing them, you're just not recognizing what those signals actually mean. Every glance, every question, every subtle change in tone carries intention. Women are experts at communicating interest without saying a single word, and the guys who understand these cues never wonder if she's into them, they know. So, if you've ever walked away from a conversation thinking, was she just being nice? This breakdown is for you. Once you learn to spot these 7 signals, you'll start noticing them everywhere, at work, in social circles, at the gym, even in casual encounters. Before we dive into it, hit like, share, and subscribe, because after this, you'll never miss the signs again. Sign 1. When a woman is interested, her eyes will betray her before her words ever will. Human attraction begins with gaze, and the way she looks at you, or tries not to, reveals more than any conversation could. You'll notice it not once, but repeatedly. In a room full of people, her attention drifts back to you, almost involuntarily. It's not random, it's instinctive. Her eyes seek yours because visual connection fuels emotional curiosity, and the more she looks, the deeper that curiosity becomes. The psychology behind this is ancient. Eye contact triggers a surge of dopamine, the brain's pleasure chemical, creating an emotional loop that links you to that rewarding feeling. So when she keeps glancing your way, she's unconsciously chasing that spark of interest. But here's the twist, not every look is bold. Sometimes it's quick, shy, or disguised behind laughter with friends. The key isn't duration, it's repetition. You'll notice these looks in transition moments, when you enter a space, when someone mentions your name, or when laughter dies down and silence hangs between words. She'll glance, look away, then glance again, measuring your awareness of her attention. If your eyes meet and she holds it for a second longer than politeness demands, that's her silent invitation. It's the human equivalent of saying, I see you, do you see me too? The difference between casual glances and interest-driven ones lies in timing. Polite eye contact happens once, maybe twice. Attraction-driven eye contact repeats, intensifies, and carries emotional weight. You'll sense warmth in her expression, a soft curiosity that lingers. Sometimes, she'll smile subtly as your eyes meet, not because she planned it, but because the connection feels electric. If you respond with calm confidence, maintaining brief but meaningful eye contact without overanalyzing, you create psychological safety. That's when the dynamic shifts. Her gaze becomes bolder, more comfortable, and communication moves beyond words. Remember, attraction always begins with awareness. Her eyes aren't wandering, they're choosing. And when a woman's gaze keeps finding its way back to you, it's not coincidence, it's her subconscious asking for connection. Sign 2. When a woman begins to unconsciously reflect your movements, tone, or rhythm of speech, she's revealing interest through one of the most primitive forms of human bonding, mirroring. This behavior isn't deliberate or rehearsed, it's instinctual. It's her subconscious aligning with your presence, creating an invisible emotional rhythm that says, I'm in tune with you. You lean forward, she leans in too. You cross your legs, moments later she does the same. You lower your voice slightly, and hers follows without realizing. It's one of the clearest indicators of rapport and attraction, psychological synchrony in motion. Mirroring occurs when comfort and fascination intersect. Neurologically, it's tied to the mirror neuron system, the part of the brain that activates when we observe someone we feel emotionally connected to. This mechanism allows people to feel another person's energy on a subconscious level. So when a woman mirrors you, it's not mimicry, it's emotional resonance. She's syncing her body language to yours because being aligned feels natural, safe, and intimate. You'll notice this behavior in small, fleeting moments. During a conversation, you shift posture, and seconds later, she follows. When you smile, her expression reflects yours instantly. Even in group settings, her movements subconsciously stay in rhythm with yours. She laughs when you laugh, relaxes when you relax, and leans closer when your energy invites openness. This isn't coincidence, it's chemistry in motion. The beauty of mirroring is subtlety. It's rarely obvious unless you pay close attention. But once you learn to spot it, you'll start seeing how emotional synchrony builds attraction silently. When two people are connected, their bodies agree long before their minds do. If you sense she's mirroring your gestures, respond. With presence, not ego. Don't exaggerate or test it, instead, maintain genuine engagement. Let her alignment deepen naturally because mirroring thrives in authenticity. It's the unspoken confirmation that she feels emotionally safe in your space. So, when her actions begin to echo yours, understand that it's more than imitation, it's intuition. Her body is speaking a language older than words, one that whispers the truth of her growing connection with you. Sign 3. When a woman is genuinely interested, silence becomes something she instinctively tries to avoid. She begins to create reasons, small, seemingly random ones, to talk to you, to keep you engaged, to stretch the interaction just a little longer. It's not always direct or obvious, it's often disguised as curiosity, casual questions, or shared observations. But underneath every comment lies intent, her desire to remain connected to your attention. These excuses can appear in countless forms. Maybe she asks about something trivial she already knows, comments on your shirt, or mentions a topic she noticed you're passionate about. Perhaps she circles back to an earlier part of the conversation with a new question, not because she needs clarity, but because it gives her permission to keep talking. When a woman does this, she's creating conversational gravity, gently pulling your focus back to her, again and again. Psychologically, this behavior reflects an emotional investment. Conversation is a form of proximity, and people seek closeness to those they feel drawn toward. By extending dialogue, she's subconsciously signaling, your attention feels rewarding, I want more of it. This isn't manipulation, it's instinct. Attraction amplifies our need for connection, and communication becomes the easiest bridge. You'll recognize her interest not just in what she says, but how she says it. Her tone softens, her timing slows, and she listens more intently. She's not just filling silence, she's nurturing it, giving it shape. Every new question or comment becomes a thread designed to keep your focus tethered. Even when the topic drifts to ordinary details, work, hobbies, daily routines, there's warmth beneath her words, a quiet eagerness that fuels the exchange. If you notice this, don't rush the interaction. Instead, reciprocate her energy by engaging with presence and curiosity. Let her see that her effort to connect is acknowledged, not ignored. When conversation flows effortlessly, attraction deepens naturally. Because here's the truth, women don't waste emotional energy on empty dialogue. When she keeps finding ways to talk to you, she's not seeking information. She's seeking you. Sign 4. When a woman's voice changes in your presence, it isn't coincidence, it's biology meeting emotion. The subtle shift in her tone, rhythm, and inflection reveals more than words ever could. Studies in behavioral psychology show that when attraction occurs, the female voice naturally lowers in pitch, slows slightly, and gains warmth. This transformation is instinctive, meant to signal vulnerability, connection, and femininity, an unspoken way of saying, I feel comfortable around you. Listen carefully the next time she speaks. Does her voice soften when addressing you compared to others? Does her laughter linger, her tone hold melody, her phrasing become gentler? These are subconscious cues, created not by deliberate performance but by emotional chemistry. A woman rarely modifies her vocal tone for someone she finds uninteresting. The change happens only when her focus becomes personal, when the space between you feels charged with subtle tension. Psychologically, tone modulation is a communication of safety and trust. When a woman feels emotionally secure, her voice reflects that state. It loses sharpness, gains resonance, and becomes rhythmic, almost musical. This auditory intimacy can disarm even the most guarded listener, creating a calm yet magnetic atmosphere. Through her voice, she's crafting connection, an invisible emotional field that draws you inward without demanding it. You'll also notice timing. She pauses more when speaking to you, allowing silences to breathe, inviting your responses to fill the gaps. These micro-hesitations are not awkwardness, they're opportunities for intimacy. Each pause signals engagement, a wordless way of saying, I value your presence. When a woman does this, she's not only showing comfort, she's demonstrating selective emotional attunement. Her tone becomes exclusive, a private frequency meant for you alone. Others might hear her words, but only you experience the softness behind them. Recognizing this sign requires awareness, not analysis. Don't overthink her tone, feel it. Respond with attentiveness and sincerity, allowing the conversation to remain organic. When you mirror her calmness, emotional synchronization deepens. Because when a woman's voice changes around you, it's never just sound, it's connection made audible. And if you can hear the difference, you've already stepped into her emotional gravity. Sign 5. When a woman begins to mirror your gestures, posture, or expressions, she's not merely copying, she's unconsciously synchronizing with your emotional rhythm. This phenomenon, known in psychology as nonverbal mirroring, is a deeply human response tied to empathy and attraction. It signals alignment, comfort, and rapport, showing that her subconscious mind has begun to attune itself to your presence. What seems like coincidence is, in reality, emotional calibration, her body quietly echoing yours in an unspoken dialogue. Watch closely when you talk with her. Does she adjust her posture after you do, sip her drink right after you, or smile when you smile? These tiny repetitions are not mimicry for manipulation, they're instinctive reflections of emotional resonance. When we feel connected to someone, our brains mirror their behavior through a network of neurons designed to foster understanding and trust. Her mirroring, therefore, is her body's way of whispering, "I'm with you." This behavior often emerges subtly during engaging moments, when laughter flows easily, when eye contact lingers, or when silence feels comfortable rather than strained. Each mirrored action represents emotional harmony, a shared rhythm that dissolves barriers. In psychological terms, this is rapport at its purest, two individuals moving within the same unspoken tempo. Beyond gestures, mirroring extends to breathing patterns, tone, and even word choice. She might start using phrases you use or adopt a rhythm that matches your conversational pace. Such shifts indicate psychological synchrony, meaning her emotional state has aligned with yours. The moment mirroring appears consistently, attraction has likely taken root, not as fantasy, but as physical reflection of emotional closeness. The most telling aspect, however, is her lack of awareness. She doesn't realize she's doing it, because it isn't strategy, it's instinct. That's what makes it authentic. When a woman mirrors you naturally, she's allowing connection to bypass logic and reach emotion directly. If you notice it, don't draw attention to it. Simply recognize the bond forming beneath the surface. Maintain genuine energy, authenticity, and ease, because that's what sustains synchronization. Because when her movements quietly echo yours, she's not just existing near you, she's emotionally moving with you. Sign 6. When a woman becomes comfortable enough to close the distance between you, it's not random motion, it's silent communication. Physical proximity, in human psychology, represents trust, safety, and subconscious attraction. When she subtly moves closer during conversation, sits beside you instead of across, or leans in while speaking, she's expressing comfort in your presence without using a single word. The air between you begins to carry warmth, not tension, and her nearness feels intentional yet effortless. Pay attention to how naturally this happens. Attraction doesn't always announce itself through grand gestures, often, it reveals itself through centimeters. She might brush past you when there's ample space to walk, rest her arm near yours, or find reasons to share the same physical frame, like showing you something on her phone or adjusting your collar playfully. None of these actions are accidents. Each represents an unspoken test of closeness, measuring emotional acceptance through physical distance. From an evolutionary standpoint, proximity signals belonging. When we feel threatened, we withdraw. When we feel connected, we approach. Her willingness to stay close, to enter your personal space with ease, demonstrates a primal level of comfort. In these moments, her body language speaks a language older than words, one that conveys emotional openness and relational trust. You'll also notice her movements around you slow down. She lingers instead of rushing away, finds reasons to remain in your orbit. Whether you're standing, sitting, or walking, her body naturally orients toward you. Psychologists call this body alignment, a key indicator of interest where attention, posture, and energy unconsciously synchronize. It's the body's quiet confession of attraction. This comfort isn't just physical, it's emotional. She feels safe enough to exist within your space, knowing her presence will be received positively. That natural nearness is her way of saying, "I belong here." If you recognize this, handle it with respect and awareness. Don't break the rhythm by pulling away or forcing intimacy. Simply allow the closeness to unfold naturally. Because when proximity stops feeling like invasion and starts feeling like connection, attraction has already crossed from curiosity into quiet trust. Sign 7. When a woman's gaze finds you among dozens, it's not coincidence, it's emotional gravity at work. The human eye seeks what the heart prioritizes, and when she keeps locating you in a room filled with distractions, her subconscious has already chosen where comfort and curiosity converge. Her glance may be fleeting, soft, or lingering, yet it carries intention, a quiet signal that her awareness is tethered to your presence even when you're not directly engaging. This kind of eye behavior is a defining indicator of attraction. Psychological studies reveal that prolonged or repeated eye contact stimulates oxytocin, the bonding hormone responsible for connection and trust. So when she looks at you, looks away, then looks again, she's subconsciously reinforcing emotional recognition. Her mind keeps seeking confirmation, your position, your reaction, your availability. Every glance becomes a conversation without words, a pulse of silent dialogue passing between two people who might not even be speaking. You'll notice that her eyes behave differently toward you than toward others. Around you, they soften, widen slightly, and linger longer than social norms require. When she smiles, her gaze follows. When she listens, her focus doesn't drift. Even in moments when you're speaking with someone else, she occasionally checks in, ensuring the invisible line between you remains unbroken. This isn't possessiveness, it's awareness born from emotional connection. The most telling moment is when she makes no effort to hide it. Her glance feels honest, unguarded, and natural. She might glance across a table, hold your eyes for a second too long, or meet your gaze after laughter, small acts that mean everything when viewed through the lens of human behavior. Eye contact is the oldest form of intimacy, older than language, more revealing than speech. If you notice her eyes finding you repeatedly, recognize the depth behind it. Don't rush, don't assume, simply reciprocate with calm confidence. Mutual gaze forms emotional synchronization, a space where words become unnecessary. Because when her eyes seek you, even unknowingly, it means her heart already remembers where to look.